What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Hit Stick podcast. I guess we can still call it initial reaction to the college football EA Sports College Football 25 trailer and
I don't like the Hit Stick
uh,
podcast. I don't like that for this. No, no, no. This is the
okay,
game day
this
podcast.
is
Something.
ooh, well we're gonna need some help on that on a name for the league because now we can finally get away from this.
Rebrand.
I know we can get away from the whole X thing. So that's
Oh,
that's
damn
good.
man.
That's what I'm saying. We could, it could be sponsored or powered by the XCFL, whatever you want to
In
call it.
XCFL league,
Yes, yeah,
in association with the XCFL, but
exactly.
fuck that X.
Yeah, we're getting rid of the X. But yeah, so welcome everybody. I don't know how many viewers we're gonna have tonight. Like I said, we're gonna get this posted on the YouTube and the Twitch just so we have it. And in case people want to go back and watch, talk about different things, and you can always post in chat. We can break it down even more. But yeah, we had our first little taste of College Football 25 news. It's hard because Madden does the same thing where they release like this killer cinematic um, trailer, and it's not like in the Madden when you saw the Patrick Mahomes dive, like you saw a bunch of cool stuff, the grass, everything just looks good. But you got to remember, it's cinematic. It's supposed to be like this hype trailer that gets everyone like, oh my god, I gotta go buy this game. It's not exactly the gameplay you're gonna get. You'll see certain things, different moves, different animations. Those will be in the game, but you never know how closely it associates with the actual gameplay. So keep that in mind. We haven't seen real gameplay. We can only get hyped about what we saw. For me personally, I know I probably speak for maybe half the people in here. The other half are the exact opposite. I could care less what the gameplay is like. I don't care if it is, NCAA 14. I don't care if it's Madden 24, Madden 21. Like, if it could be anything. Complete copy and paste. Just give me the off the field features. That's all I'm looking for. But at the same time, we got to be realistic. It's going to be, we'll get some features. I think a lot of features they might hold on and wait and, use as like the cover material for 26. Who knows? But with me, I got Boone and we got Rob. Fellas, how we doing? Got to be excited, right?
Very excited. Very excited. It's going to be a good game.
Boone, what about you?
I cannot fucking wait. I am so excited, dude. There is nothing better than NCAA finally coming back and returning the excitement that is recruiting that athlete who
Yep.
is like a 90 speed with like a 85 throw power, and he'll be my starting quarterback, replacing that bum ass senior who ain't completing passes. I don't care what you did for this program. You're out of there. Okay, I can't wait. Can't wait.
So we got a lot to cover. A lot of what Boone even just said in that one opening sentence there. I have so many things to add on that. This is gonna be a cycle of trying to figure it out. Really, we're not gonna realize, like way back in the day with Madden, you got to figure out what's going on. What do we allow? What do we not allow? What the entire situation is, and that's something we won't know until we get our hands on it. But as we start to see, because now EA is going to do what EA does, and they do that slow release. This week we get to see a deep dive into Team Builder, then next week we see a deep dive into this, and next week franchise, whatever, or Dynasty. But let's jump right into it. The first thing let's talk about. It was released earlier this week, or maybe yesterday. Cover athletes. I just wanted to talk cover athletes real quick. You get Quinn Ewers from Texas. You get
Trash.
Donovan. Yeah, you get Donovan Edwards from Michigan, and who he's also trash. And then you get Travis Hunter from Colorado, which I think we all knew Travis Hunter was going to be somewhere on this cover. Even though Colorado won 4 games last year and they didn't beat a single good team. Travis Hunter's a dog. But
We're not
what do
doing
you
that.
what
We're not doing. They beat TCU. We're not doing that.
TCU was horrible.
They were
But
just in the natty.
yeah, then they lost their entire team. We're not even getting into it.
So, like, you're not gonna, don't do that, bro.
D,
Don't come for Coach Prime like
I
that,
I
bro.
love Coach Prime. They came out with so much. Everyone had him and Shadur as the number 1 and 2 for the Heisman, and both didn't even come close. Um, But yeah, it was a really cool 4 weeks. I always say that about Jannard Robinson. Jannard always won the August and September Heisman Trophy. First 5 games, Michigan would be undefeated, play Eastern Michigan, Central Michigan, and Western Michigan. And everyone wants to give Jannard the Heisman, and then they'd actually play teams and he would stink.
What was that quarterback they had with that weird number? It was like a Devin Gardner or something.
Yeah, he wore 98. Oof.
Yeah.
Dude, I'll tell
But
you what,
let's
Devin Gardner was a local Detroit kid though. He was a dog in high school. It was impressive. But yeah, so let's get into the cover athletes. But what were you hoping? Do you like the cover? I mean, I'm not a huge fan of
no.
Quinn Ewers. Yeah, it's a cool looking cover, I think. But what would you have done? What were you hoping for?
You could have given me just I want to say better overall players. I feel like you could have picked somebody from LSU. They have a running back over there who's pretty solid. I don't know if both the Georgia running backs left. They had like two or three running backs who were pretty solid. I also Georgia's kind of in natty conversations every year, just a year removed from a natty. Travis Hunter obviously didn't really get the Donovan Edwards. You weren't even the premier back last year.
Yeah,
Quinn Ewers is supposedly a top quarterback, but I heard after the spring game, people are asking if Arch Manning should be starting. I'm not really understanding that play. But with that being said, I get that you want to put like the schools that were big when they last had an NCAA. I think that's what they were going for, right? Because you had Vince Young at Texas and Colt McCoy at Texas, and you had all the years where Michigan was always a contender. And I get that aspect and the lore of it, but overall, if we take the players out of it, the cover was solid. The cover is a solid cover. If you ignore who the players are, I like it. It
yeah,
was a solid cover.
I agree. I think the setup of the cover was cool. It's also weird. Obviously the first time you can have players that are actually in the game on the cover. Which it's are they anticipating a huge year from Donovan Edwards and Quinn Ewers, so they throw them on the cover. Not so much what they did last year, but now like they're the guy. Because anyone who typically has a big year in college football has gone to the pros. So it's probably a slim pickings. There's a cover on the screen now in a second. Probably slim pickings of who they actually could put on the cover. So I think they're trying to guess, but like yeah, I don't know. It would have been cool, I like the one where you see kind of coming up next, where you see all the different helmets. You see the guys' names on the back of the jerseys, and then you see all the other helmets
Yeah,
on the
like
front of them.
Jalen
Yeah,
Milrow.
yeah, yeah. It's really
Yeah.
that one's cool. Walking out of the tunnel.
Like me personally, I feel like you could have put that receiver. What's his name? Emeka, whatever his name is from Ohio State, who ran
Oh yeah,
alongside.
yeah,
I felt like that would have been a good pickup. SC has a couple people who you probably could have put up there. Oklahoma has some talent. Like there was so much you could have done,
yeah.
and I just felt like they just.
I think
And how you miss a chance to put Oregon's uniforms on a cover?
yeah,
I don't
that's
get.
another one. And like I do Quinn Ewers, other than like Carson, Georgia quarterback Carson Beck, probably not. Like he's probably the most known, quote unquote. Him and Milrow maybe too. Quarterback nationwide, I guess.
What's up, Jiggy? How you feeling, brother?
Jiggy. Rob, what about you? What were you hoping to shoot the cover? You like the cover? I know you probably wanted some random Minnesota guy on there, but that's not gonna happen. The Golden Gophers.
Yeah, I actually thought the cover was pretty cool. I mean, obviously, Hunter is a marquee athlete. He's a really good athlete. I'm wondering if Arch Manning is going to be in the game
Didn't sound
because
He's
like
I
not.
it.
don't I
He's
don't
not.
know. He hadn't signed that. He hadn't signed yet, had he? Wasn't he one of the big names that hadn't signed yet?
He was like,
Yep, and he's not.
it was weird though. Like it's a free check, dude. Like who cares if you're a backup, dude? Like just take the free check. Who doesn't like free money?
So
But
maybe that's why they were pushing that Quinn that Quinn that quarterback. But I watched a behind the scenes video, and that was actually shot 2 months ago,
yeah,
and they've kept it hush hush for 2 months.
yep,
And the three that's on the cover were actually there present for the video, and like the Alabama quarterback and the Ohio State player and them that you see on that one shot,
yep,
they weren't actually there. That was
yeah,
stand-ins that was
yeah,
wearing those jerseys. But I still think it's pretty cool. But there was somebody wearing an Oregon 55 jersey.
yeah. They have a
Um,
couple. Yeah, the Ducks are gonna be really good this year. It's gonna be a dangerous team. The day Michigan won the national championship, I made a bet on Oregon to win the national championship this year. Um, and their odds have significantly as they've gotten the craziest recruiting class in history. But yeah, we can get into that later. I think the biggest reason they go with Edwards and Ewers, national names and national brands, like University of Michigan,
Yeah.
just won national championship, Texas, super popular, like, and then you throw Travis Hunter, which everyone knows, it's
Well, Travis Hunter needs to thank Dion.
yeah, absolutely.
I still felt like, for example, like I said, I like my dude Emeka, whatever his name is, the receiver from Ohio
Abuka,
State.
yeah, Mecca.
Yeah, I felt like that was a big one you could have done. Your boy Carson Beck, Luther Burden from Missouri,
Yeah,
dog.
dude,
But I get Missouri doesn't have the recognition. I get that.
yep.
But you also could have shown some love to like an O lineman or something, bro, from like a big
Mm.
school.
Wow.
You don't like O line?
Don't
Come
get
on, in college? Come on.
don't get Nick fired up. Don't get him fired up,
Listen,
dude.
O line will matter in college football.
Dude,
I'm telling you
I
now.
got I got a topic we're touching on later about that, so we can get into that too. First thing I want to do, I'm gonna transition over. I want to kind of go over, the article they did drop. We can throw the trailer up there too, but the article they did drop. We got the maybe should I play the trailer. We can play the trailer. Let's see what first thing. I mean, if we're talking dynasty mode, the first thing that jumps out for me is the upsetting part about only 32 users, which kind of a bummer. I was hoping for at least 48, like give me more than Madden 32. You have
Question. Time out.
134 teams.
You really thought we would be able to hold 40, 50 users in a league?
I think what would end up happening, I think we would bring in another league who might have their own Madden league, but is struggling to fill out an NCAA league, and all of a sudden we jump from we jump up to 50. I think.
Oh, you put some fucking thought into this.
Oh, dude, I've been thinking about it for what 6 years. It's I think that would have been the move. I would have reached out to other commissioners like, hey, we got a league going on. If you want to join the Madden league, feel free. But we got a
Let's
solid
name some of them. Who you think is struggling out there?
every league out there struggling but us. I don't see any of the teams' Twitter's going anymore, so ours is still going strong. It's that by now, if you get to this point, you're still playing Madden, dude. You are one of the elite leagues out there. So there's not many, Um, but 32 teams, it was good because Rob, I don't know if you played NCAA 14, Boone. I know you did.
Oh yeah, I did.
Okay, like 12. The most you could have in an online dynasty was 12 users, which at the time was awesome. Barely anybody could probably even get 12 friends to join. But like just the fact that they jumped from 12 is huge. But I was really hoping with 134 schools, I was hoping for at least 50. And I think eventually it'll get higher. I think they probably don't want to overload the server. They got to figure all that out. And then the other downfall of that is not hearing. We've been hearing crossplay, 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 and then they specifically said crossplay for a couple modes and did not include online dynasty. So that makes me think we're only seeing Xbox for at least NCAA, which will be interesting. I think it's something they probably add midway through, kind of like Madden just did. Once they know everything's okay, they do it. But that's a bummer because we have a couple guys from PlayStation just joined the XFL, so um, it'll be interesting. John Baugh says games
They
with
can stay in
CPU.
the XCFL. No one said they had to leave. They
No,
just
for
not
sure.
going to be involved in NCAA.
Yep, yeah, exactly. Games with
That's their fault for
CPU.
playing pussy ass place. I mean, for playing PlayStation.
We'll see how much they like the XFL. Might be time to go out and buy one. John says in the chat, games versus CPU might not be as fun. John, we're gonna do our best to make. We're gonna adjust the sliders and try to make the CPU challenging and fun. Because I think if you spread 32 users out, like I think we're gonna, people are gonna jump at all different conferences. Everyone's got different goals and different things they want to do, but we don't want someone to just easily beat up on a computer. So it's gonna be, it'll be on that Heisman mode, whatever the mode's gonna be called, and it's going to be probably adjusted to make the games tough. So it will probably, encourage users to jump in conferences together and things like that. But we're going to do our best to make it so it's not, someone's taking Tulane, going 12-0, and then getting a shot to be in the playoff or something like that. But I also think it will allow us to move along quicker in college because you won't have to schedule an opponent. You can just hop on after work and play your CPU game and move on. Which is good. But all right, let's get to oh shit, I just hit something. get into the actual like reveal stuff, the couple of things that's campus IQ. I got it up on the screen here. The first thing they highlighted is that wide open, fast paced gameplay. And boom, like you've talked about before. College is different. We need different rules, all this kind of stuff. The one thing with college though is there is more space. It's all about speed and space. And, different play calls, different offenses. Everything is different. From where the hash marks are, everything. And like I think with you're gonna see. I think it's gonna feel a little bit different than Madden, just based off of speed and a spacing type of thing. And when you see this wide open fast paced gameplay, it sounds fun. It sounds like we're gonna have some Big 12 track meets, some Pac-12, no D12, Pac-12, Pac-2, whatever you call it. So I know you're excited to see something like that, wide open fast paced gameplay.
Well, as you know, I'm a big proponent on offense.
Yeah,
There are some soft ass users we have in this league that still value defense, and I feel sorry for them. In this, I do feel like we should allow more offense and leave room, like loosen the reins. I get that you don't want blowouts because we're playing each other, but like loosen the reins a little bit. When you watch NCAA, I think that it's important to note there are games that end 60-50. There are games that end 50-20. That's just how college is. That's college sports.
yep,
You want to try and touch some of those records. You want to try and make elite players, and it's not fun if you're ending games at like 25 to freaking 19. This is not the SEC. Like you want the high scoring games. You want the high flying offense. The Big 12 is the Big 12 for a reason. The Fun Belt. They sling the rock. They have fun. I just feel like we should either increase the time per quarter or just loosen the reins a little bit because, like they said, it's going to be a more fast paced game. Even NCAA was different from Madden, just
for
a little
sure,
bit with the
for
movement
sure.
of characters and stuff.
Yep,
Like the way that they cut, the way that they move, the way that you could be agile, and seems like how much speed you gained on the ground, it moves faster. So I think that's definitely going to help. But I
I,
don't think, at the very least, the blowout rule should just be a little bit looser. Like, all right,
so that's
40 points.
Yeah,
You know,
that's where it gets interesting because a lot of it though, like because there's a right and a wrong way to blow someone out and to continue, like to allow someone around to
hey, yo,
score.
no Diddy, that sounds crazy.
Yeah, let's rephrase that. There's a right and a wrong way to run up the score. But like if you were to put in the freshman backup who, and then you score your 55th point of the game and your opponent has 17, it's different, or it's just a couple different things in college, Jim Harbaugh does it, different people where you get the backups in. I know, if you have your quarterback in and he's throwing his seventh touchdown while you're up by 50 with 2 minutes to go, that's just not happening. And it's very rarely is it actually happening in real life. Like let's be honest. Other than maybe Colorado because they played crappy teams and didn't win many games, so when they got the chance to, so they did.
All
Um,
right, Nick, that's strike two. We're not gonna keep doing this, okay? That's two times you came for Colorado and Coach Prime. That's strike two. I'm just telling you, there will not be a third,
but
okay?
I don't think I don't have an issue with the high scoring 60 to 65 to 50, the high scoring shootout games. Those are great. Um, And if it, what I have a problem with though is like, and I was about to actually make an announcement in XFL. There, and you both are the biggest. Actually, it's very coincidental that you two are the biggest people who do this. When you throw a pick or you fumble or something, you both just start diving and moving your guys away from the guy running back the touchdown, and that's not going to fly anymore.
I am
You
appalled and
both,
insulted.
you
You
both
would
do it.
think for
You
one
both.
second
It is you
I
both.
would do such a
I
thing
saw I saw
intentionally.
Rob do it against Pride, and Pride even stopped to let Rob tackle him after Rob tried to let him score. Not cool, not doing it. But anyways, that's not what we're getting
Ow.
into today. It's not what we're getting into today.
Rob, I don't
Um,
know where he's getting his information from.
the
He must have
fact,
some doctor clips.
the
That's not
fact,
how we play football
okay.
over here,
Um,
okay?
the minute Boone throws a pick, he just starts BX, BX,
Now,
BX, BX,
do we
BX.
slip on the grass sometimes? Maybe. It gets a little moist in the field. You never know.
And I will
But do
throw,
we
we'll,
intentionally die? We would
we'll,
never.
we'll throw Grizz out there too. Grizz does it too. But Rob, wide open fast paced gameplay. There's really that kind of speaks for itself. The next one is what I really want to focus on. It's the wear and tear. I think this was the biggest thing we got today. If it works properly, if it works at all, this could be an absolute game changer to the point where you have to build your team a certain way. You have to construct your roster. You have to recruit in advance, and you have to really plan things out. Where if you have a power, a running back you're giving the ball 25 times a game,
Pride.
over the course of the game, or Blackburn for me, somebody who's catching 9 passes, he's running the ball 4 times, he's returning kicks, returning punts.
He should die.
Yeah, if he gets hit hard by the end of the game, by the end of the season, like that's just what it is. So the importance of being able to recruit and having a couple guys back there. This Rob could be really cool. What is your take on? I don't know if you read it at all, but this wear and tear stuff.
Well, I have not read that yet. I didn't really get a chance to down there at work today see some of that stuff that came out, but
Yeah.
it makes me wonder if I was going to kind of ask the question, like say you go and get like Minnesota, they're a running football team. I mean, it's my offensive scheme is going to be keyed around running, and I'm just wondering if like are we going to do something where like when we get these teams, we kind of whatever team you pick because there's such a big selection, but if you get a team that's a running team, you kind of run with that playbook and kind of work on perfecting that or
Absolutely not.
That's what I'm also wondering though because there are at least 134 ways to play because every team's got their own playbook.
yeah.
If you get to pick your playbook, or if those playbooks are locked to those teams, or if they're locked to your scheme, like I don't, we don't really know yet. I assume
So
it'll be
I'm out.
just like the past.
Why would my playbook be locked in when I'm the head coach?
I know that. I'm just saying if they link them to the teams, we don't know. It's something we'll have to see. I don't
I'll
think
make
they
my
will.
own. Okay, well we'll sit in the lab and I'm a head coach. I need my own playbook. I'm not running with no one else's playbook.
It hasn't helped too much.
You trying to give me 9 plays split veers. I don't want to do that.
No, I agree. I think they will
Imagine you
switch it up.
take imagine you take Navy and all you got is
I know.
fucking options.
Dude, that's the other thing we haven't heard though. Like, do they have custom playbooks? We don't know. Which at the very least, my expectations are everything they had in NCAA 14. They better have in this game. Coaching carousel, custom playbook, like the whole thing. But this wear and tear stuff, like, it
Oh, it's gonna
almost.
affect me. It's gonna affect me.
I think it's gonna affect all of us.
Devontae Mitchell gets used. He gets used and abused for
Yeah.
sure.
No, I think, and the other place though, like I think it could really make a difference. Like, this is not a shot at Colorado this time. This is a shot at an offensive line. It's a shot at Colorado's offensive line actually, not
They're
at
nice.
Um,
They're nice.
but this year's is, but last year's was not. But like a guy like Trevor Sanders was sitting back there and got sacked like 50 times last year. And like at some point, this wear and tear thing, and he's getting hit, sacked 7 times a game. All of a sudden, like maybe you got to pull your boy out when you're getting blown out late in the game, or make some type of adjustment or some kind of change, or else he will get hurt the next time, or maybe way down the road in the season he's getting hurt. One of those.
So then, my question would be, right? We look at this on the offensive side.
Mm-hmm.
What about the defensive side? Does that are you telling me that if I have a DN who's on the field all game long, are they just going to be a proponent? Is it going to be something that's going to be tailored more towards offensive players? Like, is you getting hit big? Is that equivalent to you getting pancake blocked? You know what I'm saying? Now am I looking at like, okay, who the fuck got pancakes? Running backs runs the left. We can't see the right side of the screen. So do I got to pay attention to who got lit up on the right side of the screen too?
Yeah, or running back trucks a linebacker in 3 plays in a row. That linebacker's just.
I mean, on the bench for me anyway. We don't play that pussy.
But the other
if you don't lift over here in UTSA, you don't touch the field. That's just how it is.
The other thought I have with this though, somebody like Travis Hunter plays offense and defense. Is this? Are we going to have this as in NCAA 14? You could go in and just change the depth chart and throw a corner and wide receiver. You could do that kind of stuff.
Will we allow it?
Will we allow it? 2, what's it going to do to his wear and tear if he's playing, on both sides of the ball all game long? I hope you have some type of durability type like recovery rating though. So you can like a guy like Travis Hunter who could handle that. It doesn't affect him as much as it might affect some other wide receiver or corner who's trying to do it. So
well, let me tell you.
Everybody put him over there,
Let me tell you, when I arrive at UTSA, our first recruiting class can be standing around a handful of players. That athlete that's a 95 speed, he's playing both ways. He's playing cornerback and he's playing receiver. He's going to get fed. I don't know what to tell you.
Your first season at UTSA, you are getting a 95 speed
I
athlete.
didn't say he was gonna be good across the
I'm
board,
just telling
but you best believe he gonna
you.
fucking run.
You can just wait till I win the national championship and then try to recruit my guys to your school. You can do
Oh, not a chance.
that.
I'm not concerned about taking your guys. You're not gonna have quality guys. You're not
uh,
convincing like I am. They don't
so
want to
here's
play for the guy who's gonna make them
so,
freaking run screens.
so
They want to play for the guy who's gonna let them run.
hey,
Okay.
my batted offense is a college offense. You said it. It looks great. If
But
we
look, I got Heroin Craig back in my program. He's a drug dealer in the neighborhood. He's got a big bankroll. That
well,
money talk. NIL's a
so
thing now. I'm trying to
so
tell you.
let's Boone has mentioned multiple times. We're getting to our next topic here. This pre-snap recognition. Boone's mentioned multiple times that he is recruiting his freshmen. He's putting them all starting right away. They're all in.
All of them every time.
And so this pre-snap recognition says make the decision behind every snap matter more. Do you trust in your high-skill seniors or take a risk with your untested freshmen? Read the game
Risk.
and then read your players and make the right decision when it matters most. So this makes me think, maybe something like, I'm not going to say awareness because awareness does not matter, but if it does matter, if all of a sudden you got freshmen in late in the game, the stadium shaking, is Boone's, guy named Scott Stevens, because he's
Stop playing with me. You know damn well he not getting recruited over here.
will he, will he be there? Will he let up a big touchdown because he's not ready? Because he's not ready for the moment.
He just
Versus
might. But you know what? I'd rather do that than put the bum out there just because he's been here for 4 years.
versus Rob, who's probably going to have like all 5th and 6th year seniors, redshirt
Ah,
seniors out there, ready to go. Rob's team's just as disciplined and
You
as
have to
ready as
ask
can be.
yourself, why did it take you 6 years to make it to the league?
just
100%.
keep just keep talking them into staying, and then when they make the Madden game, they'll be like 26-year-old rookies.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're at my college for 6 years, you're at the wrong program.
Yeah.
You should be out of here in 3. Okay, 4 at the most.
But it does make preset recognition. That's interesting. Another layer to the game which I like to see. It's stuff that makes it a little more fun, strategic. But Boone, I'm with you. My freshman again on the field.
I'm telling you,
But
dude.
then you throw the next guy, the home field advantage. Like we talked about before we went live, Madden home field advantage to me is stupid because yes, there's a home field advantage in the NFL, but like when you think home field advantage, you think like a big college stadium, 110,000 people, crowds going nuts, traditions, whatever, different pageantry going on. I don't want to see the routes disappearing and screen shaking in the pros. But in college, heck yeah, I want to see the
Yeah,
19-year-old freshman. I want to see his heart is pounding. He's missing some stuff. Like that's when I want to see it. When UTSA Boone has his freshman quarterback playing against Alabama down there.
doing everything,
That dude,
catching, running,
yeah,
passing.
dude better be nervous though. That
You know what I want to see? I'm look. You know what I'd love to see, and they might not be. They might not listen to us. We might just be some lowly league podcast. I would love to see when I put a freshman out there and we go take on Alabama in Alabama in Tuscaloosa.
pisses
My
me off.
freshman receiver runs the wrong route.
Yeah, I agree.
I want to see some stuff like that. I
Yeah,
want to see mistakes like cutting. Like I'm expecting the route says you cut it 5 yards, he cuts it like 10, and you're like,
yeah.
whoa, whoa, whoa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to see that.
Because there is a difference though, like a freshman Marvin Harrison Jr. versus like a random 2-star freshman that you're playing. Like Marvin Harrison's ready to go. That dude go right to the
Whoa,
pros if he wanted to.
whoa. What's your hate for the 2 star? What if he's JUCO?
I
He
mean,
did some time. He went to prison. He stole
hey,
a car, maybe. I don't
and
know.
the
But
JUCO
listen, he came up last chance. You deserves a shot.
the JUCO recruits were higher overalls than other freshmen and sophomore or other recruits though.
But they're
So
like 2, 3 stars sometimes. All I'm saying
yep,
is, look, little. I'm gonna say Chris because I don't want to say the name I want to say. I don't want to sound. But little Chris, little Chris done did some time. He done stole a car. He done did some time in juvie. He deserves a shot, and he can ball. He just made some
I
mistakes.
I agree. But Will Chris is gonna run the wrong route sometimes. Maybe that wrong route turns into a touchdown for him though. You never know. Maybe he
Maybe
makes
you
it.
never freaking know.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, Rob, you like in the trailer. I don't know if you guys watch. I'm assuming you guys watched that. But like you got the the different
Sometimes.
pageantry and throughout the traditions. You got the Iowa, the dudes waving at the kids in the hospital. You got you got the waterfall in the background. Like it was crazy,
So,
dude. It was crazy what they had.
dude, the Iowa Children's Hospital was dope. The 12th
Dude,
man was crazy. I get a
yep,
cinematic, but it
yep.
was crazy.
They had the pet when they did the aerial view of Penn State. That was
Yeah.
dude. the night game, Rob. I mean, you got to be
I,
excited for this kind of stuff.
yeah, I seen the I did see the trailer, and that's the only thing. Of course, I'm a big Gopher fan, but they don't have near the intros. They were kind of showing some of the different intros, and they, the Notre Dame and some of the different schools, USC, and some of them have some pretty good pageantry right at the beginning, and
Well,
that would be really cool.
let's not down because one thing we know about Minnesota, even back in 2014, you were one of the first ones with the real jumbotron and a very nice jumbotron at that.
Dude, and
So you guys got something.
Yeah.
Minnesota's uniforms, dude. They got the gold
Uh,
dome. They got the gray. Like they got some sick uniforms. Underrated. All black.
oh, yeah. The uniforms are
Yep.
are amazing.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm.
that.
That's what I'm most excited about. Is you're gonna get, you'll get, the 8, 9 different options. Different how you get all the alternates. Like it's gonna be, dude. I'm
Uh,
in Oregon. I'm gonna have a different uniform combination literally every single game of the NCAA.
I don't even
It's
think you understand how
dude.
like I wanted to take I just hit my manager up to try and take a week and a half off because I took the week off from the
Yeah.
19th. I didn't know they was doing the early dates. Now
Yep.
I was like, all right, I need those days. He was like, nah, I can't. I was like, well, then you need to move my shit up. Like I'm
It it is though. Like, and then Boone mentioned it too. You're seeing guys got the jerseys tucked up so you can see the abs. They got the back plate showing. They got different.
Ooh.
It was.
Look, we're in the belief because my man Deloitte, shout out Deloitte TV on YouTube.
Yep.
He did the live reaction to it. He was stopping the video and looking, and I'm telling you right now, we are convinced there are leg sleeves or leggings, whatever the fuck. They weren't socks because they
Yeah.
had the pants that stop above the knee, but the high socks stop at the knee, and we saw
Yeah.
those. But there were leggings that went through the entire leg, and now we're wondering, are there leg sleeves?
Yeah.
Can I have one sleeve on my right leg?
It's going to be interesting
Listen,
because like the NFL has rules of what you can and can't wear, and they're obviously not going to put things in the game that break the rules. But this is not associated with the NCAA. Like, this is college football. EA, like they can do whatever they want. There's no, it's going to be a whole different ball game. I think. Hey, you got your boy in the chat too. What up,
well,
D-Boy?
man, what's up? Shout out Deloitte TV.
Yep. Ilio is in there too. Oh boy, Ilio he's looking for a spot in the league. We'll have to see if we're bringing him back. Um, I'm
Uh,
curious. I'm curious though
uh.
with his offense.
Hey, now I'll play with you. You cool.
You did not like his offense. I'm curious though with
No.
32. Being capped at 32, we were kind of anticipating 50. And I thought we were gonna get. I thought you were gonna get a couple more. A couple more. You get the league plus some. But now if all 32 at CFL uses them on in, then what's gonna happen. But um, and then lastly, we'll talk, commentary broadcast crews. You get that's a nice touch. I think the big games you get Fowler and Herb Street, and then you're gonna get a combo of Reese Davis, Jesse Palmer, Pollock, and a couple other.
But there's no Corso.
No, Corso. They gotta put Corso to bed. Unfortunately, that boy.
What about Pat McAfee? That's my see.
Dude,
Here's my thing though.
yep.
I think both of them are like this is more like Lee Corso handing the torch off to Pat McAfee because Pat McAfee is like the future
Yeah.
of broadcast, and it's like
They
Lee
said,
Corso the what is it called, the mascot thing?
yeah,
Or that's college football in itself.
I agree. I think they did say there is something with the game day crew. The game day crew is in the game. I don't know if it's. I don't know how much. I don't know. What we get to see of that, but I just it's something that adds a nice touch. So you're hearing a different voice in your games, and I do think judging by what Fowler and Hershey have been saying all along these last couple months about how much recording of things they've been doing, you're gonna hear a lot. Madden, dude, like you're like down by 7 with 2 minutes to go or 1 minute to go. And they're like, why are they onside? And it's like, dude, like they're saying the wrong thing at the wrong. And you're like, what do you mean? Why am I onside? I'm losing. I have no timeouts. I got to get the ball back. Like I think this is going to be a really nice touch with and I do think the use of like AI is going to help a lot, where you can just pop voiceovers and it's going to be very interesting what these games start to look like in the future. With you can just pop
The way
anyone's
they're
voice.
able to freeform what's
Dude,
going on with
it's
AI having
yeah.
voices already programmed,
They got
that will be dope.
yeah.
My thing is, right,
Yep.
I don't know the flow of what you had planned. You didn't send us the program for the show.
Mm-hmm.
I have one question on a rule. I
Let's
would
go.
love to know if we can do this rule because I've been thinking about it the entire time we've been talking. Can we limit single digits to
Oh, boy.
starters? If you're not starting, you don't get a single digit, bro. Like
Hey,
you just don't. You don't. I should
you,
not see number one
I,
on the fucking sideline, bro.
yep. You know what I can stand on this. Absolutely. You know, my backup quarterback is going to be number, 18, number 13. Get all the, that's they might even be in the
If
40.
he's a 5-star number one
Yeah,
recruit,
yeah,
maybe he can have like 7 on the bench.
yeah,
But
yep.
I should not see a single digit coming in, and all he does is return kicks. That's no,
No, I think,
no.
yeah, unless I'm with you there. Like unfortunately, we don't have a rule for it, but maybe we'll have to give Boo some admin privileges so we can go and make some roster
So
edits.
disappointed in you. So disappointed in you, Nick.
Hey, you won't see that on my roster. You know that. The minute I get a 5-star freshman, I don't care what. You can be a 99 overall receiver on my team.
Number
You're going to
fucking
80,
one.
dude. You're going
Number
to 80.
fucking
Yeah.
my first recruit, number one.
Yep. Um, but yeah, I mean, we can look at game modes, but that's not really a thing. We look at dynasty. That's all I care about. The one thing, we don't know if it's crossplay.
It's not from what I'm told.
That's what it's looking like. I do think it'll be added in. And
I'm
then the other
curious though, why would it not be crossplay given the fact that you've made franchise mode on Madden
and it,
crossplay?
and
That's
it
kind of
worked
thing.
and it worked like
Yeah,
it worked well. So I think I'm hoping it's like let the surgeon get up and running, let's see what we're dealing with, and then see what happens. Because it's the first time, but I think we see it this year at some point still. And then dude, a team builder. I'm happy team builder's back. I don't know how much you used it in the past one. I'm sure you did because um,
like did I create teams or did I download teams that were
both.
created?
I mean, both. Like that was creating teams and getting to do the 3 different uniforms and picking the different helmets and jerseys and all that stuff online. Rob, I don't know. Rob, did you ever do it?
I did
Yeah.
when when I did the 2014 though, I never played online. I
Okay.
always played like I mean the first real online experience was the XCFL for me.
Because Boone, you remember Boone, like when you took a team like Oregon would have like A+ facilities, like A campus environment, like all those different things, and it helped in recruiting. And when you did your team builder one, you could set your new school and all that. So me and my buddies would each create our own school. We would use the exact same stock roster, so you could go through and name your guys wherever you wanted. But then you could hand out 1 A+ for your recruiting stuff. You could give out 2 A's, 2 B's, 3 C's, and then so you had to kind of pick what ones were important to you, so your teams were different. And then we would start our dynasty with all 12 of us having our own custom school, custom jerseys, with the exact same roster. And it was kind of fun to kind of, see whose school would move up the ranks and, different things. So it was pretty cool. Like, I can only imagine if we let all 32 users create their own school, that would be
No
wild.
chance.
That
No chance. Let me
would
tell
be
you.
wild.
Wow.
So when I played NCAA 14 when it was out, like originally, I
Yeah,
didn't know anything about online dynasties. I didn't have online like that. Like I didn't have a
yeah,
bunch of friends. I honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't know people played games the way I played them with the dynasties and the
yep,
franchise until like it was like 2015 or 2016. I hopped on Madden and found leagues, and then I started jumping through leagues till I found what was once TML and became the XCFL.
yep,
And I'm just like, oh, there's really people out here as invested in this shit as I am.
yeah.
So that was the first time I found it. But at the time when I was playing NCAA, I
It
didn't
was
engage. I just did Road to Glory and called it a day.
it was what made me look for Madden League. Like I was, me and my buddies we had our 12 guys that would, it would hit midnight, get day release, we'd all go get the game, and we would play, a full season that first night, and it was like the coolest thing ever because we'd all just, and you would
Bro,
play
I
with,
definitely I thought I was a fucking nerd. I thought like I was like,
yeah,
bro, I'm into doing franchises and drafting rookies and starting them. And like everybody's just like, oh, play me 1-on-1. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
I play now, cool. It's like
yep,
I beat you at USC. What up?
yep. It
But like
was,
I didn't know people were into like drafting rookies or scouting, recruiting. That was
yep,
me and my dad. Me and my dad sat at home doing that shit.
yep. Let's go. A couple other topics I want to touch on. In 14, at least for online dynasties, the importance of like the coaching carousel, which I'm hoping we get to see.
Oh,
We haven't heard of it
oh,
yet.
oh,
But the coaching
dude,
carousel, for those who don't know, like if you were an offensive coordinator, if you were a defense coordinator, head coach, you had different, if you had the number one ranked offense, number one ranked defense, scoring point, like all that mattered into what offers you were going to get. So like if you were the
man,
coordinator, if you were an offensive coordinator at a small school, you might have a choice between an offensive coordinator job at a big school or a head coaching job So I'm hoping, we get to see where you can still be the coordinators if you want to. You can still kind of move around. People get fired if you don't hit your goals. So like if someone does take, if I take Oregon and season one, I won 4 games. It might be the short stint with Oregon because they're
It's
moving,
getting kind of hot.
yeah, kicking me the curve, and all of a sudden someone else gets Oregon for season two. So, um, and that stuff there, like that changes. Right now, if I was the Seahawks and I got fired, and the Seahawks got a new user, I'm in the division almost every single season. All of a sudden, the landscape changes in the NFC West. Like in college, it's something that users are going to be constantly moving around. Hopefully, we're building programs up, and maybe Boone said, maybe UTSA gets to a powerhouse, and he goes and joins the Big 12. All of a sudden, the Big 12's got another powerhouse team in there, and Boone's got his 4 or 5 star recruits, and they're ready to go. I don't believe it'll happen, but
It's
different
okay.
things,
We all make mistakes. You can be wrong as much as you
yeah,
want.
but different things that change the landscape of everything. That kind of goes back to like we talk constantly about these conference commissioners. So if Rob is the conference commissioner of the Big 12, maybe he invites, Boone and all the other conference commissioners to prove that Texas, San Antonio, can move into the Big 12. Well, Rob might have to pick someone to remove for the Big 12, and all of a sudden he's sending down, maybe Guac is Kansas, and Kansas has been struggling. Now Kansas is headed to, the Sun Belt or whatever. Just some, it's going to be a constantly changing landscape like college football is, where teams are moving around. West Virginia's in the Big 12, but they're nowhere near it. Like, it's just something really cool that's going to add so many different dynamics, and
I
that
think
That's
that
gonna be
that
wild.
idea, I think that idea would have been a lot easier, a lot more. It would have made a lot more sense and been a lot more effective with 50 users than
yeah,
32.
yeah, for sure. That's the
32 is definitely going to make it tough because I mean you're going to have a
yep,
bunch of computer teams you can move out. But
yeah,
my question is right. So listen, first off, if I'm a conference commissioner, pride you're never invited. Um,
Dang.
with that being said, though, you've had this on your mind for years.
oh yeah,
For years, you've had plans in play. Thank you. You've had plans in play. So I have a couple questions for you in regards to what your plans are, or
yeah.
do you have a slot for that later?
No, let's go bring it up. We got just a bunch of
All
random
right.
topics we can
So
hit.
listen, just first things first, right? When it comes to picking teams, right? Are we gonna be doing pick whatever team you want? Is it gonna be rank related? Is it gonna be like, oh, if you pick, if you want to be a head coach, you could pick 1 to 2 star, maybe 3 star, and then if you want to be a coordinator, you could be a coordinator at a 4 or 5 star.
Yep. So as of right now,
Assuming it's like NCAA 14, right?
yeah, as soon as like 14, I think in my mind, there's two ways to do it, and it's what I don't want to do is I'm not gonna like Rob picks this team, you pick this team, and we're gonna put all the users in the same conferences. I'm not gonna touch the landscape of college football, um, the first season. But what I think the two different ways to do it, either you start at a small school and you work your way up, or we do free pick, and everyone can start wherever they want. As of right now, being the first year of it, I'm leaning towards letting everyone, pick the team they want to start with, and we'll just see how it all goes, and then, we'll have a voter decide what we're going to do for the next cycle of it. Um, I think the way we will decide the order is going to be, like I said, it's going to be all-time user rate points. I think. So you're going to get rewarded for being in the league the longest, for doing the most content over the last, 5, 6, 7 cycles. Um, and so,
Okay, so real quick, you said all time.
yeah,
Are we talking in a consistent stretch, or is it if you left and came back, you get all the points total?
if you left, like Grizz for instance, Grizz left before we did the team draft for Madden's 18 or 19 or whatever. So Grizz lost his 1,300 points and ends up with a zero for that cycle. So it's whatever. If
Uh,
you made it all the way through, that's what you get.
from whatever your current tenure is.
Yes, yep, I got all that recorded. Well, no, so if Grizz played at 17, he gets his 17 points. He won't get his 18. Whatever cycle you finished and you made it to the next
Oh,
one.
so if you left, you don't get your points from that cycle.
No, because you didn't make the team draft.
But what if you left and returned in the same cycle?
You get the whatever you finished with, because you got
Okay.
to restart your draft points. So obviously you two are always finishing near the top 10. So obviously you're going to have a pretty decent pick for
I like to
for
try.
something
I
like
like
this.
I like to contribute a little bit.
Yeah, but it's just the only way I can think of where you reward the guys who have been here the longest, and then you reward the guys who have been active, from the time they've been here. So
Well,
yeah,
just saying, my guy Rob has changed the way that we do
for
team
sure.
selection. I'm just saying.
Yep. No, it's the truth. one of those things that I think it could be a really cool way to do it, and I think it's something that now while you're making your final push for your Madden team selection, keep in the back of your mind that these points probably count for your NCAA team selection as well. So
Fair.
start
That's
thinking
fair.
about
Okay.
it. What else you got?
Next question. Next question.
Rob, feel free to chime in on any opinions on any of these questions too.
I'm telling
No,
you. Hey, look.
that sounds good. I do have one question for you, Nick. So
Mhm.
just so I understand, say you take an offense that's a triple option run heavy offense. Is that going to be something I know Boone, you were talking earlier about kind of loosening up the range. Is that going to be something where
Yeah,
I run a triple option and I only pass like 10 times a game? Is
yeah,
that
yep. I think that's something we'll have to loosen up those rules. As well as and that's the thing, same thing with like a running gun or a run and shoot type style offense where you might be the your quarterback throw 50 times a game. It's just being able to the only as long as you can do it somewhat respectfully and you're not just trying to I don't need to see
sure?
7,000 yards at the end of the season. Like keep it somewhat realistic. We're okay, but um that's but yeah, like for sure. Army throws 3 or 4 times a game. Our Navy, like that's a situation we'll have to talk about for sure. But
I think that's gonna make it a lot of fun, truthfully, because if you really have to go against somebody that has just a you know totally bizarre offense,
yep.
it's
Well,
gonna
yeah,
it's gonna it's gonna stymie you for a while.
that's the beauty of college football though. Is there's like
Yes.
teams are unique and playbooks are unique and like um oh yeah, D Lloyd just said I think yeah the rules loosened up keeps the teams and play styles unique. Yeah, that's the only thing like where like Boone mentioned earlier, you get into custom playbooks. Well, your custom playbook then all of a sudden takes away some of the uniqueness though. Like if you throw in a bunch of triple option army formations, but then you also have 5 wide, like you're not, it's what kind of identity do you actually have if you're, because like a team who has, whoever, we'll take any, great quarterback, they're not gonna a guy who's running a 5 wide receiver offense is then all of a sudden not going to be, let's bring in 3 running backs and a fullback and 2 tight ends and let's have the quarterback run. It's just not something you ever see. So we got to kind of
Yep.
see what kind of things. I hate stock playbooks more than anything. Me. Um, but to keep those play styles unique and keep those teams unique and different things like that, like you might have to commit to something, and maybe it'll be like, okay, maybe before the season you say, okay, I'm going to be a spread offense. I'm going to customize my playbook like a spread offense, and then we're like, all right, cool. Then maybe the next year, like, shit, this didn't work. I'm recruiting a fullback and 2 tight ends, and I'm going to, whatever. Then we can, So maybe you still get that custom playbook, but it has to be designed to fit your scheme.
I
So,
think that'd be really cool.
yeah, but
Man.
yeah, I think there's
How
a
do you
lot of
police that?
I know it's gonna be tough. And like I said, this first cycle is gonna be figuring it all out. And I almost would say we see less rules like up front, like less things to police. We're not gonna police this, not gonna police that up front. And then as we see like, oh yeah, this is a problem. Or okay, this is pretty bad. Like then we'll know moving forward. Okay, we might need to change how we do this or set up how we do this. So
Will we reset the I guess the tenure needed or like whatever the requirements are to create a custom playbook? So like when everybody starts, okay, after 2 seasons you can create your custom playbook. So you got to run with whatever's in the game at first.
That's a pretty cool idea.
it just
That's different.
depends. A lot of it will depend on what those stock playbooks look like. Because the Madden stock playbooks, instead of the 500 plays that custom gets you, you only
Yeah,
get like 200. Like it's brutal. So we'll
yeah, but
we'll have
maybe
to
we could do
see.
that. But then we just we put the limit at 3 times per game
Yeah,
you can call a play. So then it's like okay, but at the same time that accomplishes the goal. You can't just sit there and spam plays all game.
yeah, yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. I think it'd be cool if you forced like found a way to police it. Everyone upload your playbook, but then you like I don't know. We'll see. But no,
I
good,
think
good,
I don't know.
good
That's
question.
hard.
What else you got? What else you got, Boo?
Okay, so let's say you go to a school like myself. I plan on going to a UTSA,
Yeah.
and we're gonna be at a lower conference. What do you think the requirements will be to say I want to move to a new conference? Because obviously, if you're losing in your conference, you're not moving to the
Exactly.
SEC or
Yeah.
the Big 12.
Yeah. And that's where I
What would
think
those requirements and what would that process look like?
the first thing we're going to do is establish some type of committee, and it's going to be you almost like apply for it, and then the committee would be a like an unbiased committee. And the first time I see somebody biased, they're off the committee. Like this is like I've said multiple times. This is not just a football league. This is an experience. This is a college football experience, and that's what we're going for. So if Boone goes, I don't care if someone doesn't like Boone and like I don't want Boone to be able to do this conference. If Boone puts up 2 12 seasons in a row and says, hey, I might want to go to apply for this conference, we're gonna look, see what kind of recruits you're going in, see what you've had success, and have you won a big bowl game, what kind of schedule have you played. Maybe they come back and say, hey, not this year. Let's schedule a couple tough teams on your schedule, see how you do against a couple Power 5 schools, and then boom, then maybe the following year you're moving up. So I think that would be, and it would have to be like the committee approving you, almost like the NCAA board type of thing, approving like the UTSA move to this conference. So I think that would be, that obviously has to be ironed out after we kind of see what everything looks like in the game. But I'd like to get, a panel of, 6, 7 guys that are helping make those decisions. So it's not just me being like, oh, yeah, no, yeah, no. And then, I think I would like it to make sense logistically. And maybe like, if we do go conference commissioners for like the big conferences or something like that, maybe they have a plan where they're like, oh, I want to bring in, 2 teams that are rivals with each other, and they go grab, like something like that. But maybe you haven't had as much success, but your rivals had a bunch of success, and it's like let's bring these 2 in. So there's a lot of different situations, and again, it's an experience. I think who you beat, how you win, different things like that all play into that. But that's a good question, something I think could be really fun. Because again, someone might just want to stay in a small school in a shitty conference, build a powerhouse, and see what happens.
Hey man, I told you, just like you've been planning. I have been.
Yeah,
My since this has been an option or even a possibility, my
yeah,
mind has been.
yep.
So my next question will be
Yep.
right. How do you plan on handling the coach carousel? Is that going to be something free form? Is it going to
That's
be like a
yeah,
everybody like almost like a draft scenario where if you're not going to attend, we're just going to leave you at your school?
yeah. That's
Um,
I've thought about the off season a lot. Where me and my boys back, when we had 12 of us, we would schedule the off season where we could all get on one night, kind of like we did.
100%.
Yeah,
What a great night that was.
yeah, exactly. And then, you run through that 1 week of recruiting, that transfer, all that stuff right in a row. But like how the carousel was in 14, you hit start carousel and it went one coach by the next coach by the next coach, almost like a draft. And I don't know the order they did it in. Sometimes it was the coaches with the best offers get to go first. But that would kind of be the move. And if you weren't on that day, like that's tough. Maybe there's some type of clock, but the NCAA offseason will definitely be longer, unfortunately, than the Madden ones. But hopefully, like you said, hopefully there's a way that person can say like, I want to stay with my team, and maybe not have to be online or something. Again, we
Right.
gotta get that.
As a commissioner in the 14, you could force them to stay. You
Exactly.
could force them to take a job. So
Yep.
they
So
could say,
yep.
we could set up to say, hey, look, if you're not going to be here, give us the teams you would take,
Yep.
and if not, you'll stay where you're at, and
Yeah.
then we'll
Or
abide by what you request.
be on your Discord. So when I message you and say, hey, Louisville, hey, whatever, you can be like, yep, nope, like right away.
Right.
So, but
Fair.
because then I don't know, is there a way we can, after the carousel's done, we, boot the guy off one team and he can go sign with the other team. That's something we gotta look at. But I
And then
would
what if you get fired and you can't show up?
exactly. So if NCAA 14, if you got fired, you always got an offer. So you would go to a horrible team, but you always got to sign somewhere. So it's almost like you're starting out fresh with one of the worst teams in the league. So um, that would be, you probably have very limited selection anyways if you get
Right.
fired. So
You'd
yeah,
almost have to be there, and if you're not there, it's like, okay, well, listen,
that's
bro, you better figure something out.
yeah. So I hope there's something we can do where it can be, decided in advance, or we can do like a draft, and but that'd be, that's the plan. So I think this will be, like I said, these off seasons will be a little bit longer, but the coaching carousel is such a huge part of college football.
Man,
And like
because
yeah,
people leave and then jobs open up, and you didn't anticipate
exactly.
that job opening up.
Exactly. And then you like maybe you didn't get the chance to play with play in Rob's division, and all of a sudden a team in Rob's conference opens up, and you're like, wow, I team that much. Maybe I like who's in the conference, So again, changing the landscape, you get to play different people. You're not playing the same four people in a division for 9, 10 seasons in a row. Like it's gonna be
That would be fun.
and Rob, the best part about it though is like if someone builds a superpower roster, maybe they struggle and they mess up recruiting. They strike out and they miss on all their recruits that one year, and then all of a sudden, four of their seniors are gone at key positions. Maybe their roster is not as good the following season. So maybe it's something like it's so many things can affect how this is going to look every year. I can't wait to see because maybe maybe you thought you had this sick scrambling quarterback coming in, and then the last second he's gone to your division rival, and then you're stuck with Johnny Walk on over there who has no speed, no throw power, and there is no free agency. There's no free agency. There's no trading. So you can't go make if you missed and didn't have a backup plan, you're screwed. You can't go just
Yeah.
pick somebody up randomly. So or make a trade and get that guy on your team for this
Sounds
season.
like you deserve to be fired.
Yeah, exactly. You're rolling through with a walk-on quarterback because you did not have a backup plan when your five-star ditched you. Maybe you don't want to risk it going into the final week of recruiting or National Signing Day, waiting to hear from this five-star, so you move on to a four-star who has already said, "Hey, I'm coming. Like I want to come to school." There's going to be little things like that. And what I really hope, the biggest thing, if you have questions, go back to it. But like if Alabama or Wisconsin or whoever lines up with their massive offensive line and their massive defensive line, their elite defensive ends against an Eastern Michigan or an Akron or something like that, the size difference, of like a 6'5", 350-pound tackle versus Eastern Michigan's might be a 6'3", 284. I need to see a difference. I need to see a dominant there has to be whether people think it's unfair or not or whatever, not even playing field. If you are a small school with 2 and 2-star recruits, you should get dominated by a team full of 5-star pass rushers. Like it should be really hard to beat that team because that's why when Appalachian State beat Michigan, it was such a huge deal. That's why when these teams upset these teams that are paying them millions of dollars to be their warm-up game, it gets hard to win those games, and that's what we need to see. I need to see a difference in that kind of stuff. So.
I'm so glad you said that because you led it perfectly into my next question. When it comes to making schedules, the commissioner can make custom schedules. Now, is this going to be something that's like preordained? Like, oh, you have to take a top something. You can't just sit there and just take all FCS opponents the whole damn time. Or is it somewhere you can challenge somebody and they have to accept your challenge? Or is it going to be something like you have to agree to the challenge?
Exactly.
And it's like, okay. Or do you have a certain number of denials to be like, no, no challenge, no challenge. All right, well, you denied 2 times. You can't deny a third. So whoever challenges you next has to go.
Yeah, just like how in real life they do, teams agree to home and homes or neutral site games or whatever that is. We're gonna allow it. Like if that's the capability, like we get with the old one. If you and Rob say, hey, for 2025 and 26, I want to play Rob, and you do Rob's home the first game, and you're home the next game. That's something we're gonna allow. If you were definitely, you're not going to get to fully customize. I think that's going to be more on the committee to do that we have, or the staff or whatever, where it'll be maybe we do like everyone gets one easy game, one medium game, one ranked team, or something like that. Like, but if you schedule your home and home with a ranked team, that would count as your. But I think that's also it's a great point. What gets really fun because, like I said, like there's going to be times where the committee talks and hey, I need the best team from, the conference Boone's hosting, and I need the best team from the conference Rob's hosting, and they are playing week 1 on a neutral site field. We're kicking off this season with a broadcast, and it is going to be best against best, and you don't have a choice to say no. Like that, again, that goes back to the experience. You're getting, or maybe UTSA, had their playoff run, got into the playoff last year, whatever. Maybe they're getting a test week 1. They're going to come up and play, Oregon week 1, and maybe something like that might happen.
Well, we're not accepting any invites from Oregon. I can tell you that. We're not
Oh,
accepting any invites to Ogden Stadium. We're good, bro.
But that's the fun of this, where I think we can really create that experience where it might not seem super fair. Like, oh dang, I gotta play Tosh week 1. I don't really want a loss week 1 every time. But that's your chance. You are a top team in your conference. Gotta go show it. We're not gonna let you go 13-0 every single year and not play anyone good. So I would like to see, and everyone will have at least one user game. We're going to try to do that for sure. That's like the initial thought. Like at least one user game you got to play, whether it's in conference, out of conference.
Will there be a requirement for user games in your free games, like non-conference? Will there be a requirement
I,
per every X year, right? So like every 2 years, you got to play one person out of conference.
yeah, I think that. Yeah, ideally, I think that'd be fun. I think once we see what we're allowed to do, because in the last one, the commissioners go through every single team in the thing and set their entire schedule outside of their conference schedule.
One hundred
Um,
percent.
And like, what would be really cool is if we gave everyone the same bye weeks, and then you could just do a quick like advance, and like,
Week one, waste of time. Let's get it out
yeah,
of the way. Get your
exactly,
recruiting done.
yeah, exactly. Like that would be the move. You get 20, what 12 hours, just like a free agency thing. You get 12 hours to get out and sign your recruiting points for advancing. So um,
That's
that's
a
Got
good
to be
idea.
on that day.
yeah, because then
Set the
obviously,
recruiting board, and then let's do the first week of recruiting. You're
yeah,
not there. I'm sorry. It wasn't
yeah,
important to you.
and then maybe we play week 2, and then maybe bye week 3, like then all of a sudden, look, we played one game, we're already week 4, day 2. So I think that's something. That's what me and my buddies used to do. We usually do weeks 1, 2, and 3. Boom, everyone's got bye weeks, and then you got games the rest of the time. So it's something. It depends what how much freedom we get and how much different conferences have different amount of conference games, and you can change those in the last game. So conference rules, conference when do they start, when do they um, and then setting those rivalries too is always cool. So
Yep,
very
for sure.
excited. Yeah, but we're all I think those are great questions because I think scheduling is going to be one of the most fun things. And again, like you and Rob would go to the committee and say, hey, we would like to submit for a game, this, or hey, we want
Oh,
to do
we're definitely gonna have a rivalry. I don't know where he's gonna be at. We will have a rivalry.
yeah,
Oh,
Okay.
I know where I'll be at. I'll be up in
yeah.
Minnesota.
Me
Well,
and
Texas is traveling to Minnesota. San Antonio is ready, baby.
me and
Hey,
Rob
though, okay.
me and Rob in the Big Ten over there, Oregon and
Hey,
Minnesota.
Are
Um,
you
there
really?
you go.
Oh, hey, yo, Oregon's in the Big Ten is crazy.
I
Oh
know,
my god.
Yeah,
dude.
I keep forgetting the Pac-12 doesn't exist.
Hey,
it's
we'll bring we'll bring it back. We'll bring the Pac-12 back. There's
the
all
Big 20.
tons of different options. So, but that's I'm with that. Like I think that can be really fun. You got another question? We can go to a couple other things I had.
By all means, you take the reins. Those are most of the questions I had. I'm sure
Yeah,
some will pop up here and there, but like I said, I
uh,
have been my
yeah,
mind has been running on this
yeah,
for about 7 years now.
yeah. And I know Rob's probably tired, so we'll get through a couple more. But one thing we didn't hear anything about gameplay like abilities, X factors, that kind of stuff. In NCAA
Yeah.
14, yeah, in NCAA 14, you had the impact players that had the white star around them, which didn't do anything. We don't really know. They were just your best players on both sides of the ball. I will. Can you assign X factors to college players? I don't know what they'll do. Like I would like to see it go away from that. Because I do feel like it's a place for like mutt and stuff. But I don't know. There's no mention of that, so I don't know. Maybe there's one where you're a two-way player, like Travis Hunter has an X factor to play both sides of the ball.
I think just because of the length of time that you're in school, where it can only be 3 years, I
Exactly.
don't think the 4 tier system of deving is
Exactly.
realistic. I think it's really just gonna be either you're a regular player or an impact player, and you can
Yeah.
earn your way to an impact player either
Yeah.
mid season
I
or
would. I
at
would
the
love
end of the
that.
season, etc. Like you win an award, you're obviously gonna jump to an impact
Yeah.
player and then boom, you advance or dev at a faster rate. But I don't think it's gonna be something where it's like hella tiers, because you
No.
might only be in school for freaking 3 years, bro.
Yeah.
Like obviously 5 stars might walk in high tier dev, and then some 4 stars maybe you might catch a dime in the rough 3 or 2 star, but I think it'll just be one tier. Either you're fast or you're not. You're impact or you're not, and that's it.
It
So
would
here,
be.
so
Go ahead, Rob.
I was going to say, so here's a couple questions that I had. Are we going to see a wheel of chaos for college?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Oh yeah. You'll get to
drunk at
create.
a party,
Dude, you'll get to create custom recruits if they allow it still. You'll get to do all sorts of stuff. I've
drunk at a party
I
and
already know.
fight arrested for assault,
Yeah. But like
DUI.
but even something like where you get to when getting to choose where the top recruit was born and raised. Like if you put him in Florida, maybe you're a school in Florida and you want to have a chance to get this guy. Like there's gonna be a ton of different things we can do.
You better let
Um,
me change his fucking name.
we'll see. We'll see.
You better
Uh,
let me change his fucking name, bro. If I could choose where he's born, I
yeah.
get to rewrite his name.
Oh yeah.
Damn it.
No, there's gonna be it'll be basically a creator recruit kind of thing. You give me the position, the name, whatever else, what it look like, and we go from there. But we can one wheel of chaos. The other one that I'm a little nervous about is the export and draft classes. I don't know. I'm really wondering if we're gonna get that ability because like in real life, Marvin Harrison Jr. did not sign his name on July this thing with the NFL, yet. Like so then all of a sudden, if we were taking these guys from college who have their name, image, and likeness, and we're putting them into Madden without them having signed something with Madden or whatever, um, that has me worried that we might not have that ability. Which
Well, fuck them. Listen, bro.
yep,
Okay. So two questions, I guess, is my part that would help
yep,
answer this question. If we have the option to do completely random players and randomize the rosters
100%.
as a whole,
That'd probably be
completely redo them,
yeah.
will we do it? One, and then two. My next question would be, um, are we really gonna wait 3 to 4 years to finally get our recruits in the
I
game, or are we just gonna work through seasons?
that's the hard part there. Because I think it's probably split half and half, where half the people want to play with the real college football rosters, play with their, the guys that are, the quarterback they know their team has and everything like that. But then the other half, like you said, want a completely fake roster so they can just start, having their own players come in. Um, that's the tricky part because like you don't want to, and you also don't want to simulate like 3 seasons, but
Mm-mm.
maybe you play those 3 seasons before you start Madden, and then I don't know. That's something we have to really look at too because I Dylan Gabriel, quarterback that transferred from Oklahoma to Oregon, I would not draft him. Like I don't care how if I win the Heisman with him at Oregon, the last thing I want to do is play with a guy who's actually a real quarterback in the NCAA. Like
That's what I'm saying. Like
yeah,
what we're founded on is
yep,
random players.
I know,
So I
and
feel
that's
like if
yeah,
there is a way to randomize the rosters,
yep,
we should do it. And then boom, whoever's there is who's there. And then
yep,
you build a new attachment to your guy because at the end of the day,
yeah,
there's nobody you know.
yep. I think
I
that's gonna be tough. Go ahead, Rob.
I was thinking that I heard, and I haven't seen it, but I was thinking that like some of these players, like their likeness is going to be in the game,
Their
like their
picture,
faces, their
yep,
likeness. Yes.
yep. But that's where it gets. They signed it with this game, but they didn't sign it with Madden, and because they don't sign Madden until they are officially on to Madden. So when they say like, oh, the modes are connected, things like that, it makes me think. I bet you can take your created Road to Glory person to your Madden, single
Oh, I
player
see what
mode.
you're saying.
But I really need to, like, we need to find that out because if
I
that's
don't think they would sell them together if you can't take your dynasty franchise or
But see
your
that,
draft
yeah,
class.
I would think that too. I don't know. It's going to be very, very sticky situation that I'm hoping we can. But at the same time, if you can't, then we basically have, you have the two different leagues you probably don't run side by side anymore. And you just have the XFL and you have the college league, which
So
could
my
be
question:
a wrench in the plans. But
do we leave this up to a survey for those involved in the NCAA league, as far as whether or not we're starting with real rosters, or if we're just gonna do a random generator roster, if
yeah,
available?
that's we'll have to see what the options really are. Because if there's no exporting of draft classes, then it doesn't matter really. Well, then we could just do a fake,
Well, I
um,
still don't want to play with real players because
no,
any fresh, I'm not gonna care about the first season and any freshman I recruit are starting day one.
but I will say the nice part with that though, like not if Madden, you don't care, you tank and lose all your games. If you tank in college, there's no tanking. First off, if you lose all your
Yeah.
games, you're fired. You don't get extra recruits for that. Like if anything, recruits won't go there because they're losing. So that's the other thing that kind of worries me. In Madden, the worst users, if you consistently lose a lot of games, you get rewarded with the top pick. In college, if the guys who win get the better players. Unless you find the one guy who cares about living close to his mom and you happen to be the college in his mom's hometown. Like
Listen, as
And
long as you just focus on staying in your shitty conference, you'll be okay beating up on computers.
yeah, no, it's gonna be a very, very, very interesting learning process, especially these next few weeks where we start to get more information. So I'm super excited for it all. Like, I think this is like I said all the time. I said it last time we did a podcast on this, but if I get to pick Madden or NCAA, phew, dude,
Gone.
I'm going NCAA.
Hang it up.
Uh,
I can't wait to hear Viper talk at my retirement ceremony.
all my effort, dude. Like I said, there will be nothing better than going live, clicking advance, and then we break down where everybody just signed on National Signing Day, or the same thing with transfers. You open up a show for the transfer portal, and you're like, oh dang, Boone's got transfer. Not like the whole. It's gonna be so crazy,
Can you imagine the podcast we'll do
dude.
just talking about the fucking recruiting board and where
I'm telling
everybody's
you,
at and where the top
That'll be wild.
yeah, it's a
That'll be
bro?
whole,
wild.
it's a whole different ball game. Like the opportunities are really endless, and I'm just hoping. That's why I said I don't care what the on the field product looks like. Just give me enough off the field that we can work with, and it's gonna be
Bro.
fun. So
This will be called the Tailgate Podcast. We will also do one about the recruiting trail. We'll probably call that mother. What do they call? We'll call it Pipeline, the Pipeline Podcast. That'll be real easy. Knock that out. Okay, this is. I can't fucking wait.
there's gonna be
I'm gonna lose sleep. I'm not gonna be focused on work.
no,
I'm not gonna want to go to work. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like it's bullshit that I have to work. So
yeah,
I'm gonna be focused on this.
and it's gonna be fun, especially they give us the export tool at Neon where you can have the website for it. Like it's gonna be really cool. You pop on the portal after and you're like, oh my god, I can take this freshman who when Rob recruits his 5-star receiver and doesn't throw the ball at all. I'm like, dang, I'd love to go play for Nick. So it's
Oh,
gonna
bro,
be
trust me. When I have that Heisman winning quarterback and I bench him because he's not playing well, come get him.
yeah,
Come get
no,
him.
yeah,
He can have his sixth Kobe year, whatever the
yeah,
fuck they gave him.
no,
He like Bo Nix.
it's gonna be fun because like I said, there's gonna be like I said, if Glock and Bracket are in the same house fighting for a 5-star recruit, like imagine when we click that advance button and he signs a Glock, like or transfer, someone Glock gets Bracket's transfer. Like there's going to be so many cool situations. So
So let me ask you, because this is how it happened in NCAA 14. You insta commit
hmm
one of your 5-star receivers or quarterbacks.
hmm
Are you giving someone the common courtesy of letting them know, hey, I got him, don't waste your money on
yeah,
him? Or are you going to let them burn them points
that's
and
gonna
say, fuck you? Or are there specific people you would give the heads up to and some where you'd say, fuck you,
it,
waste those fucking points?
it's gonna be interesting because we don't know what we'll see. Will there be an explanation to everybody? Well, it's gonna be.
Assuming no notice. Don't duck out the question. Assuming no notice. Assuming it happens just for you and only you know until we hit that advance button.
Oh, I don't think
Are
it's
you
hell.
giving someone heads up?
I'm gonna give everybody a heads up. Wage 2,000. Wage 2,000 points for that week. Uh, yeah, schedule that visit. Good luck. It's gonna be, but that's also what I wonder. Like, uh, what kind of what does NIL play? Like, can I just go
Oh,
to a
well, trust
player?
me.
Yeah, can I
When
go
they
to a
come out
player?
UTSA, we got strippers and
Yeah,
hookers waiting on them.
that's
So
what I'm saying. Like,
try and beat us.
Oh,
but for the transfer
Strippers,
portal,
hookers, and blow. What you need, we got it.
could I just surf down anyone's roster in the league and be like, oh, this corner looks nice. I'm gonna offer him, this, and then also, I just need to know because then it's gonna be wild, dude. Like, and you get a chance to try to, convince the guy to stay. It's gonna be because really, like, even when a guy would transfer in NCAA 14, or he would transfer, or like try to get to the draft, you have like a couple options, like convince him to stay, play 3 games, or play 6 games, or play 9 games, so 200 yards, 400 yards, whatever. Um, I hope we get some other options, and I really think like their personality and different things that matter to them are really going to play a role in it. But it's like I said, it's going to be an experience, and it's going to be fun to see. Like, is someone just picking all your recruits from you nonstop? Like, who's got the NIL budgets? Is every team NIL budget the same? And then back to kind of what we talked about, like,
It's not. It's not. It's not.
no,
I'm sorry. Alabama,
yeah,
Oregon, Cal,
yeah,
UCLA, USC. much higher budget than UTSA. You know what
So
we
then,
got?
no,
We got some fine ass strippers and hookers. Okay.
but that's where that's where team selection might get interesting. Or like maybe your UTSA season one, you're like, oh, this $200 this job, like maybe I need to move. But that's also like we talked about, we're going to try to have some type of system, not kind of called currency, but some type of system where like if you participate in like the big neutral site matchup to kick off the game, like you're being rewarded with something. If your conference wins the national championship, like everyone in that conference being rewarded, the conference commissioner, different things like that. We're gonna find ways to, really instead of just trying to go undefeated the whole time, whatever, like different things you do will help earn you points that hopefully you can use in some way. Um, I think so there'll be incentives to participate in the experience rather than just trying to shy away from the experience. So we'll see. But that's all I got today. Any questions before we want to go here?
I mean, I could go all day, but I
I
don't.
think
I don't think I want to hold y'all any later. I'm off tomorrow, so if you want to do another one, by all means.
I think every time we get any type of drop or any type of new information, we're gonna have to jump on here. When we get the
I'm
first
in there.
gameplay. Yeah.
And I need the
Sounds
points
good.
too. I need the points too.
Cool. All right, fellas. Well, thank you for tuning in to the whatever podcast we're calling this.
The tailgate podcast for the time being.
I'm good logo, man. All right, cool. For Rob, Boone, and me, we are out of here, and we will see you on the XFL
Later.
NFL for now. Yep. We are. See you.
See you later.